Welcome to English with Shams. In order to speak English fluently and communicate effectively, you have to understand and practice important aspects of English language like grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and communication. In our course, 30 Days English Speaking Challenge, these aspects are explained in detail with examples. In this video, you will learn direct speech and indirect speech and relevant rules. In this session, we will discuss types of speech. This is the new topic we will have. So, types of speeches. So, we may report the words of a speaker in two ways. We may quote his actual words. This is called as direct speech. We may report what he said without quoting his exact words. So this is called as indirect speech or reported speech. For examples, Mrs. Smith says, I am ill. That is direct speech. So if somebody is, expressing the same thing, then she can, that person can say, Mrs. Smith says that she is ill, which is indirect speech. So direct speech are always quoted in the quotation mark. Okay, within the quotation mark. So the speech which is under quotation marks, so these are called as quotation marks. So here, quotation mark or inverted commas. The speech which is under quotation marks or inverted commas in writing is called direct speech, and the verb by which it is expressed is called a reporting verb. Okay, so three features of direct speech. In writing, the direct speech is put within inverted commas to mark off the exact words of the speaker. Of course, in dialogues, inverted commas are often left out. Okay, so a comma is used after a reporting verb. Of course, in dialogues, reporting verb and comma are not needed. The first letter of direct speech is a capital letter. So can you see here, direct speech? Okay, let's take another example. Direct speech. John said, I am very busy. So John is actually a speaker, the one who is talking. Said is a reporting verb. And this is actual sentence, what he actually said. So John said, then comma, I am very busy. So this is direct speech. So here, exact words of the speaker are used. And if somebody, try to express in his words, then there are some rules. For example, indirect speech. John said that he was very busy. So this is indirect speech. So it will be noticed that in changing the direct speech into indirect, certain grammatical changes have been made. Let's look at from that perspective. Direct and indirect speech. So there are two ways to convey a message of a person or the words spoken by a person to other person. What are those? One is direct speech, another one is indirect speech. Suppose your friend whose name is John tells you in school, I will give you a pen. You come to home and you want to tell your brother what your friend told you. So there are two ways to tell him. Direct speech. John said, I will give you a pen. Indirect speech. John said that he would give me a pen. Okay, let's deep dive. Direct speech. In direct speech, the original words of a person are narrated. No change is made and are enclosed in quotation mark. While in indirect speech, some changes are made in original words of the person because these words have been uttered in past. So the tense will change accordingly and pronoun may also be changed accordingly. So in indirect speech, the statement of the person is not enclosed in quotation marks, and the word that may be used before the statement to show that it is indirect speech. So how you can identify whether it is direct speech or indirect speech? So the direct speech is under the quotation mark, and if, in case of indirect speech, there is no quotation mark. However, the word that is used, that. Okay. So indirect speech is also called a reported speech because reported speech refers to the second person of indirect speech in which something has been told by a person. Okay. Now let's talk about a reporting verb. The verb first part of sentence, like, he said, she said, he says, whatever. So there is a verb. Okay. So the verb first part of sentence before the statement of a person in the sentence is called reporting verb. Examples. In all of the following examples, reporting verb is said. He said, I work in a factory. So said, it is a reporting verb in this sentence, which is a direct speech. If we make indirect speech of this sentence, then it will be, he said that he worked in a factory. Another direct speech. They said we are going to cinema. Indirect speech, they said that they were going to cinema. So there are some changes which we need to make when we convert or when we change from direct to indirect. Okay. So that is reporting verb. Then we have a reported speech. The second part of indirect speech in which something has been told by a person, which is enclosed in quotation mark, indirect speech, is called reported speech. So for example, a sentence in direct speech, he said that he worked in a factory. In this sentence, the second part, he worked in a factory, is called a reported speech. Okay, and that is why the indirect speech as a whole can also be considered as reported speech. So fundamental rules for indirect speech. Reported speech is not enclosed in quotation mark. So that's why in all indirect speech, you don't see any quotation mark. Use of word that. The word that is used as a conjunction between the reporting verb and reporting speech. So you can see here in all indirect speech, we can see the word that. So use of word that. The word that is used as a conjunction between reporting verb. So You see, the said is a reporting verb, and reported speech. And after that, all those words are part of reported speech. Then the second rule, change in pronoun. The pronoun, which is actually subject of the reported speech, is changed according to the pronoun of a reporting verb or object of the reporting verb. Right? Sometimes the pronoun may not change. Let's look at what are the different rules. In the following example, the pronoun of reported speech is I. You can see here, direct speech, I said I am happy. I pronoun is used here. In the following example, the pronoun of reported speech is I, which will be changed in direct speech into the pronoun of reporting verb, that is he. Okay, so let's say direct speech, he said, I am happy. And if somebody is reporting it, or if we convert it into indirect, then it will be, he said that he was happy. He said that he was happy. Okay. So you can see, if the direct speech is in present continuous, then the indirect speech is in past continuous. In the direct speech, we are using the quotation mark, but in direct speech, we are not using any quotation mark, but an additional word that is used. So there is no that. And there is a change of pronoun. It is I here and it is he here, because he said, meaning let's say it's Sabi. Sabi said, whatever he said, what he said, I am happy. Actually, the Sabi said he was happy. So these are the actual words Sabi used while discussing. So same thing I can express in another way, which is called as indirect speech. I can say that he said that he was happy. Okay. So direct speech, another example. I say to him, you are intelligent. Indirect speech, I said him that he was intelligent. Because in this sentence, I am referring to another person, which is third person. All right. So that's why instead of you, it is he. So I said him that he was, I said him that he was intelligent. So you change to he as the person of the object of reporting verb. Okay. Another is, so change in time. Time is changed according to certain rules, like now, instead of now will change to then, today to that day, tomorrow to next day, and yesterday to previous day. So direct speech, he said, I am happy today. Indirect speech, he said that he was happy that day. So today is changed to that day. Right? So you can see here, today to that day. And it is in present continuous form, so it is changed to past continuous form. There is no use of quotation mark, but instead that is used. Now, change in tense of reported speech. In the first part of sentence, reporting verb part belongs to past tense, and the tense of reported speech will change. So if the first part of sentence, reporting verb of part belongs to present or future, the tense of reported speech will not change. Or let's look at direct speech. He said, this said. So or look at the complete sentence. Which tense it is? Only he said this much. Anyone?
Past.
In past, again, we have indefinite, continuous, perfect, perfect, continuous. In which of these?
Indefinite.
Past indefinite, right? Past indefinite. So it should be complete. So you should say this sentence is in past indefinite. So what is the rule? If the first part of the sentence, that is reporting verb, belongs to past tense, if it belongs to past tense, the tense of reported speech will change. Okay, so as you can say in indirect speech, here the reported the reporting verb part is in past tense. That's why when we convert this from direct to indirect speech, what happened? The tense of the reported speech will change. So now he said, "I am happy." So the indirect speech, he said that he was happy. So the tense of reported speech changed. You can see here the reported speech in direct speech was the speech was "I am happy." So it is converted into "I was happy" with that. Okay. Another direct speech. He says, "I am happy." Can you see here? It was in the first sentence, it was he said. It was in past. What about now? He says. Which tense it is?
Present.
Simple tense.
Present. Which one?
Perfect.
Present simple. He says. First form of the verb, and s is added because he is a third person singular. So it is present indefinite or simple. So he says, "I am happy." So if the reported verb is in present tense, you can see here is the first part of sentence, that is reporting verb part, belongs to present or future, the tense of reported speech will not change. So since here it is, he says, which is in present. So when we convert it into indirect, so he said that he is happy. He is happy. So here it is in present tense. So here it is also in present tense. You know why there is no change here? Because the reporting verb in present tense. If the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, in direct speech, the reporting speech will be in the same tense. However, if the reporting verb is in past tense, then what happened? The reporting speech will change. Okay, so we will look at some sentences. Tense change in indirect speech. So present simple tense into past simple. So if it is in present simple, then it is changed to past simple. If it is present continuous tense, then it is into past continuous. So as we can see here, it was in present continuous. "I am happy," but now he was happy. So present continuous tense into past continuous. Present perfect tense into past perfect. Present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous. Okay, change tense change in indirect speech. Okay, and then similarly, past simple into past perfect. If it is in past simple, then it should be past perfect. If it is in past continuous, then into past perfect continuous. If it is in past perfect, then it is past perfect. So it means we cannot change past perfect continuous. Okay, it is not feasible. That's why it is not mentioned. Then future simple will into would. So in future simple, what happened? Instead of would will be used. In future continuous, will be into, so instead of will be, it will be would be. In case of future perfect, will have, instead of will, would is used. So instead of using the word like will have, it should be would have. So these are the rules which we need to understand. Okay, so let's make sentences in present. So he said, I write a letter. Now, please read out this sentence, separate out tenses here. Yes, anyone. Faiz, it's your turn.
He's
Yeah, Faiz, go ahead. Shahbaz, are you available?
yes, sir.
Right. So please read out this sentence and separate out tenses and also identify parts of speech. Yes, please go ahead.
He said,
Okay.
I write a letter.
Okay. Then this he said is in which tense?
Mm,
Past
Past,
simple. Past simple, right? And
past
simple.
perfect, sir.
Past simple. And then I write a letter,
Past
which
definite. Past
yeah,
simple indefinite.
he said it is in past simple or past indefinite. What about this? I write a letter. Which tense it is? I write a letter. Which tense?
Present, present indefinite.
Present indefinite. Right? I write a letter. So you see here the reporting verb is in the past tense. So if the reporting verb is in the past tense, when we convert direct speech into indirect, then the tense also changes here. So it should be, he said that he wrote a letter. So here the present indefinite is changed to past indefinite with that. Why? Because the reporting verb is in past. If the reporting verb is in past, then only in the indirect speech, the tense will change. Like it is changing from past indefinite to, sorry, present indefinite to past indefinite. All right. Now, Musab, is your turn. Please read out second sentence and differentiate between tenses.
She said he goes to school daily. She she said is past, simple past.
Okay, past indefinite or past simple you can say. Okay, right.
Past
Then,
simple. He goes to school daily.
hmm,
He goes to school daily is present tense.
present,
Uh, present continuous.
present indefinite. In continuous, we see always ing form of the verb, right? So here,
Yes.
es is added. So in our present indefinite, yes or es is added to the verb of third person singular. So he is a third person singular. All right. So this is direct speech. He said he goes to school daily. And if we see indirect speech of this one, she said that he went to school daily. Because as you can see now, the tense is changed from present indefinite to past indefinite. Why? Because here in indirect speech, this verb is in past. Now next. Yeah, now it's Musab, it's your turn.
He said he does not like computer.
Hmm.
He said is a past, simple.
Hmm.
He does not like computer.
Hmm.
He does not like computer is perfect, present indefinite.
Perfect. Yes, that's right. So as you can see here, all our direct speeches are in simple present, and the reporting verb is in past. That's why you see present simple changes to past simple. That's why you see he said he does not like computer. So indirect speech will be he said that he did not like computer, because present simple is changed to past simple. Okay. Now next one. Yeah, Sabi, it's your turn now. Please read out and separate and identify tenses.
He said he is listening to music.
To
He
the
said is
music.
a, to the music.
Okay.
He said is a past simple
Mhm.
or indefinite. He is a simple present continuous tense.
What about this one? He is
Present
listening to
continuous
music.
tense.
Present continuous. Perfect. Okay. So
Continuous tense. Yeah.
present continuous changes to past continuous. So here he said that he was listening to the music. So present continuous is now changed to past continuous. So present continuous changed to past continuous. Yeah. Yes, Faiz, now it's your turn. Read out and separate out these sentences. Okay, no issues. So you can see here, she said, I am washing my clothes. So it is in present continuous, changes to past continuous. She said that she was washing her clothes. So my change to her, because it is those clothes belong to her, right? So this is direct speech. I am washing my clothes. All right. So now in the indirect speech, we are talking about her. So that's why she said that she was washing her clothes. Okay. So similarly, in if direct speech is in present perfect, then it is changes to past perfect.
Use
So
her in past tense.
no, no, her, it is actually a pronoun, right?
Yes.
So she, then her. Look at list of pronouns what we have. In our parts of speech. This is the list of parts. So can see she. If it is used as a subject, if this pronoun used as an object, then it is her. Right? Even it is if it is used as an adjective, then it is her. Okay, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
she said that she was washing her clothes. Then they said we are enjoying the weather. And then they said that they were enjoying the weather. Okay. So present continuous changes to past. Okay. Similarly, uh, present perfect changes to past perfect. So as you can see, the direct speech is in the present perfect. So and she said he has finished his work. Then indirect speech. So since it is in present perfect tense, so here it is changed to past perfect. She said that she had finished his work. So I said I have started a job. He said that he started a job. Okay. Then similarly, so this is for present perfect changes to past perfect. Then we have present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous. So he said, I have been studying since 3 o'clock. So he said that he had been studying since 3 o'clock. The present perfect continuous changes to past perfect. She said It has been raining for 3 days. She said that it had been raining for 3 days. Okay, right. Then another, I said, she has been working in this office since 2007. I said that she had been working in this office since 2007. So present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous. If we talk about past, all right, because our direct speech was in present, right? I has finished work and all this. Now we are considering past. So he said to me, you answered correctly. Now please identify these sentences in that identify tenses in this sentence. Anyone would like to?
He said to me, you answer correctly.
Hmm.
He said to me is past simple.
Hmm.
You answer correctly. Present indefinite.
You answered. You see the second form of the verb is used. You answered, meaning it is also in past simple,
Past.
right? So you answered correctly. So in that case, right? So past simple changes to past perfect. So this direct speech is in past simple. You answered correctly. So if it is in past simple, it changes to past perfect. So here the indirect speech should be, he said to me that I had answered correctly. You see, I had answered correctly. This is past perfect. And you answered correctly. This is past simple. Okay. Yes. Similarly, John said they went to cinema. This is past simple. John said that they had gone to cinema, which is past perfect. He said, I made a table. He said that he had made a table. She said, I didn't buy a car. She said that she had not bought a car. Okay, so past simple changes to past perfect. Now look at past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. They said, we are enjoying the weather. So you can see here, it is past continuous. And if we make indirect speech of past continuous, then it should be, they said that they had been enjoying the weather. So it is past perfect continuous. Okay. So he said to me, I was waiting for you. So he said to me that he had been waiting for you. Past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. Similarly, past perfect changes to past perfect. Okay, so in this case, she said she had visited a doctor. So indirect speech, she said that she had visited a doctor. So this sentence, this part of the sentence is in past perfect. So that's why it is in the indirect speech also past perfect. So he said, I had started a business. He said that he had started a business. Past perfect changes to past perfect. There is no change. I said she had eaten the meal, right? I said that she had eaten the meal. So they said we had not gone to New York. So they said that they had not gone to New York. So past perfect changes to past perfect, present perfect changes to past perfect. Now let's look at some of the examples of future tenses. Indirect speech. He said, I will study the book. And in indirect speech, he said that he would study the book. So instead of will, would is used here. So she said, I will buy a computer, a computer. So she said that she would buy a computer. Instead of will, would is used in indirect speech, the form of helping verb. I said, I will not take the exam. So in indirect speech, I said that I would not take the exam. Will changes to would. This is what we discussed in these rules. In these rules, we just discussed here. Okay. So in future simple tense changes to it remains future tense, but instead of will, would is used here. What about future continuous tense will be changes to would be. Instead of will, would is used. So I say to him, I will be waiting for him. So I said to him that I would be waiting for him. Instead of will, would is used. She said, I will be shifting to a new home. So she said that she would be shifting to a new home. He said he will not be flying kite. So indirect speech, she said that he would not be flying kites. Okay, so these are the some rules which we need to understand. And another thing, future perfect tense will have changes to would have. So instead of will, would is used here. So he said, I will have finished the work. So in indirect speech, he said that he would have finished the work. Similarly, she said they will have possessed the exam, passed, they will have passed the examination. She said, they will have passed the examination. She said that they would have, instead of will, would. She said that they would have passed the exam. The next sentence, he said, I will have gone. This is not the correct sentence. Okay, so in this way, you can change. Note, the tense of reported speech may not change if required speech is a universal truth, though it is reporting verb belongs to past. Okay, so for example, in indirect speech, he said mathematics is a science. Okay, indirect speech of this one, he said that mathematics is a science. The tense of reported speech may not change if reported speech is a universal truth. Only for universal truth, this is applicable. What it says, that the tense of reported speech may not change if reported speech is a universal universal truth through its reporting verb belong to past. For example, here, okay, let's look at some example. Direct speech. He said mathematics is a science. Indirect speech. He said that mathematics is a science. Then similarly, another direct speech. He said sun rises in east. So it is universal truth. So if it is universal truth, we don't make, yeah, it's a universal truth. So indirect speech, he said that sun rises in east. So tense didn't change because reported speech is a universal truth. truth thought. Okay, truth thought is reporting verb belongs to past simple. So this is some comparison. So we will deep dive and discuss each of these. So which requires another 1 hour. So what we can do is let's only try to learn how to create our so types of speeches, all these ones. All right. So any question related to this? Sometimes we have to make sentences in indirect speech. Most of the time it is direct speech. Okay. Here, it will be noticed that in changing the direct speech into indirect speech, certain grammatical changes have been done. Okay. Now, okay, so this is already included in the document. The one which is not included, I'm to use. Can you see here we have already done these things. All right. So past tense we discussed. Okay, so similarly, for different sentences, different rules are there. So first, I want you to understand the types of speeches, different speeches, and all those details. Then in our next session, we will start from topic number 34. Okay, so the remaining aspect of functionality related to types of speech, we will execute in our next session, because initially I would like to go slow so that you can understand the concept very well and you can practice it. All right. So any question, because the rest of these we will be discussing in tomorrow's session. So any question before we conclude today's session? Thanks for watching this video. Follow us and practice to enhance your English fluency.